Welcome to the biggest show in the world. Sports Bettors.
You are listening to the biggest show in the world. What's going on, people? How's everybody doing out there? It is the weekend, and we are here, and we are ready to cash again like it's been all week long. I got my boy, Dr. Dan, the evil genius, on the line. What is going on, my brother? Are you ready for today?
Oh, I am so ready, kid. You know, we had a monster week, just building, and now we're ready to play some serious games. There's some big value, big ticket. So, hey, man, I'm ready to cash some more tickets. Let's get it done.
All day, man. I got the SBTV Nation out there saying this thing.
We want more. Like, you really like it. You want more.
I love it.
Oh, my God, kid. Having just an absolute ball today, man. You know what? I went to the Yale game last night, kid. I went to the Yale game, and I had a ball, man. I posted some photos from there. It was a really, really good time, guys. Listen, if you're ever in Connecticut and it's hoop season, you definitely want to check it out, because I got to be honest with you, dude. Listen to this. So you go in, you buy your tickets, right? You go in. They have a lounge, Dan, right? $10, and they give you open bar for like the first 30 minutes of the game, bro. So you drink, dude, $10, you got food and beer, bro. Beer and wine for the ladies. How about that, man? So it's like from the beginning of the game until the middle of the second half, you can have, and it's canned beer, and they pour it in a glass or whatever for $10, dude. I was like,
That's
oh. So anyway, man,
pour up at the Yale game, making some money.
Oh, definitely. I didn't drink too much because it started out being a little bit of a stomach ache, but you know what? Yale came out, and I want to say they scored like 45 points in the second half, kid, and
that was
crushed them.
Monstrous.
Yep, definitely, man. But
that's where the stats have held true for Yale all game. I know a lot of people were probably getting nervous close to halftime. I think they went into the half down 3, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, that's not good. But then you got to look at the stats and you got to realize that Yale just dominates second half ball games, and they came out and they did what they do. They just smoked them. And on top of that, Yale, with the Harvard loss last night, which another one that I didn't expect. I was on Harvard last night. I felt it was a must-win for Harvard. They are the better team. They just played terribly last night. I think their best scorer went 2 for 11 in his first 13 shots from the field. So, it just didn't work out. But now those boys are tied for the Ivy League, and they'll play each other the last game of the season. And whoever wins that, as long as both teams, win their next 2, which I fully expect, that game's going to be to go dancing.
That is so awesome, kid. Can you imagine if Yale gets in a tournament, bro?
Be amazing, man.
Listen.
Aren't those early games? The pre-games up in Houston, maybe right before we hit Vegas, we might have to go to Syracuse.
Oh. Yo, that'd be off the chain, dude. So, but you know what? Hey, listen. I haven't had a clean sweep like my boy, The Dream, has, dude. He hasn't lost since last Monday, kid. He's been tearing it up, like doing multiple sports, multiple options. He's been doing point spreads, money line parlays, everything, dude, buying puck lines and all this crap. So anyway, I ended up late last night giving a little bit of money back with the Milwaukee Bucks, kid. Up 11 points in the fourth quarter and lost to the Lake Show by 8, kid.
Oh, no.
Brutal loss for me on that. But you know what? We were, I was sitting there rooting for the Dream with the Spurs, and, him and I had a little consensus on the Spurs, and the Spurs ended up pulling away on that game. So big ups to him on that, and big ups to you for doing your thing this week as well, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks. Yeah, it's been a good week. I mean, obviously the big play of the week was, taking NC State in that upset. Obviously at plus 425. Here's the thing, guys. There's just some, you got to look around, because especially in the college game, especially when you come down to these grudge match games where a team like North Carolina is almost always going to be favored because, it's just the way it goes. There's definitely some value there. Take a look. I mean, there's some plus 800s, plus 900s that have won this week.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
well, you know what? Listen. I may be on some underdogs today. We got a lot of very volatile matchups here in the college basketball ticket today, my brother. I was looking at it. I was like, these look ugly. But then I'm scratching my head. I'm like, maybe they're not so ugly. Maybe we can figure out a little bit of a way to make it work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kid, I know we got a huge college ticket today. I just want to touch on a few things because, look, Dream, you can kill me. I got a bunch of people asking me about the MLBs. And I'm just going to touch point on this. If you didn't see my tweet earlier, look, the reason why I don't touch this stuff until really right before we're going to be in Vegas, kid, look what happened. You got Adam Wainwright, go back to St. Louis with an abdominal issue. They're not sure if he's going to be able to start the season. That's huge. And then you got Ryu for the Dodgers, who already is having some back issues, no structural problems, which is almost worse because you have no idea what it is. So I'm just saying, guys, be careful out there. Tread lightly until you see some of these guys actually throw in some live games. Because it's all about the pitching. It's all about the pitching. And if one of these big guys goes down, right now, look, the St. Louis over-under line is still at 88.5. I'm about to take that under because if they lose Wainwright for any length of time, they're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely, man. I know nothing about baseball. And I know nothing about hockey. So I got you crushing the baseball. I got the Dream for the hockey. And I'm going to sit back here and just focus on my college hoop and watch my boy in the NBA do his work. And, my boy in Irving sat out last night, in case you guys didn't hear. And that's why Cleveland lost the game. But they played in Indiana. And, we pulled off of that as soon as we heard that. Once Irving was out, I was off it. But then when they said my boy was going to sit, I was like, no. No way. So
I didn't even see. Did they announce why he sat?
He's got a little bit of a back soreness, and they wanted to give him some rest. So I get it.
Because all I saw on ESPN was coach's decision. I'm like, there is no way that David Blatt bets LeBron James or something. I didn't realize that he's just been a little banged up.
Yeah, so just a touch, but it was mostly rest. So it is what it is. But Sergio Rodriguez, C. Rodriguez Jr., Boston Boy, the Hockey Immortal, Vegas Girl 92661, and the list goes on. Kid, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready, man.
I'm ready.
I've been doing homework since like 10 to 7 in the morning today. After this monster week, I'm ready to really have a big Saturday.
All right, dude. All right. So let me pull up my odds. Just take a little bit slow, guys. I apologize. But before that, while I'm pulling up the odds, I want to go through field goal percentage leaders in the NCAA, okay? Just so you guys know, okay? You've got, I want to go through the top 10. As a matter of fact, I'll go through the top 15 just so you guys can put this in your back of your brains when you're doing your homework on your matchups, okay? Number one at 52.7%, I'm sorry, 0.527% is Gonzaga. Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3, Duke. Number 4, The Ohio State University, who is incredible, by the way. Number 5 is UC Davis. Let me rephrase that. Ohio State's incredible at home.
Home and with D'Angelo Russell, who, if you watch that game, oh man, I don't know, that hammy. That could be some problems though, so I'm a little worried.
Yes, I got my man Papa Smurf on here. I got Marlon. I got Eddie E. What's going on, guys? So we got number 6 is the Utah Utes. Surprisingly, just shooting under 50%.
Still underrated team.
0.495. You got William and Mary. Then you got as number 7. Number 8, you got Arizona. Number 9, you got SMU Ski. Number 10, Stephen F. Austin. Number 11, Denver. Number 12, Sacramento State. Number 13, Northern Iowa, kid. 0.485 from the field. Wow. Unbelievable. And Iowa State, number 14. And Georgia State is number 15. So that's what you got there. That's your top 15s, guys, for the day. So take a look at that, and like I said, put that in the back of your brain. And
I want to say something about that Utah team real quick. Is they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem, guys.
I concur.
I mean that defense. I mean, look, I had tuned out just a little bit. I'd taken that game when they were at home against Arizona State. I felt really good about that game, and I just had some things that I had to do, and I was trying to tune in. I come back, and it's like, 13 minutes left in the second half, and they're up 51-17.
You're up 41-9 at the half.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they win the game by 43 points or something. That team, and they take advantage of lesser teams, so I don't think, an underdog, they're not really an upset special to me in the tournament. And they can play against anybody, and I think the game tonight, against Arizona, that's going to be very interesting, and they are actually favorited at home by 1.5 right now, but watch out for those Utes.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Well, they got Arizona today, man, so that's going to be one hell of a matchup, kid. One hell of a matchup there. And taking a look at it, man, let's just jump right into it because we got 12 o'clockers starting, man, and we got to get into it and kind of see if we're feeling froggy about any of these games. I'm looking at them, Dan, and I got to be honest with you. I am going to have I got to pick a few of these, but there are some brutal matchups, but we're gonna break them down
tonight, kid.
There's always Yale, and Yale's playing Penn, and I can tell you that Penn is no good, and Yale's probably gonna be giving like 17 points tonight. So we might want to go first half with my boys over there.
Half. And by the way, guys, I also want to say there's a couple of books that have changed up. If you look around, where you can now parlay like the craziest things if you want to. You can parlay first half lines, of different games, different, sports, NCAA, NBA, NHL, different things like that. So, a lot of books are really taking into account that, we really like the variety. So they're opening that up. So definitely look around for that.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. So let me take a look at what we got here. First of all, we got the 12 o'clocker here starting the day off right. We got Michigan coming into the Maryland Terps today. And I'm taking a look at this, and I want to say the line is 8. Yeah, it's 8 to 8.5. And I'm taking away, obviously, Maryland be a favorite, guys. Michigan is 14-13 coming in there. 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games, though. Hey, Dan. The only one that win they had in the last 6 games was the one where you remember that last week?
I think I might. I think something's telling me I might owe you some beef.
I got 3 letters for you. STK.
Go there, kid. We going there.
Definitely.
All day. Hey, I still got 2 bottles of Ciroc coming from the Dream. So, a steak on me is no problem.
Oh, cool deal. I'm going to punch my boy Irvin in for like a few minutes just real quick while we're doing this. But let me just say hi to Irvin. Yo, what's up, Irvin? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, Hatter?
How you doing, man? I got myself and the evil genius on today.
What's up, Dr. Dizzle?
What's going on, man?
Not much, players. Just wanted to call in and talk for like a quick couple minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got a couple minutes, brother, because I got a very long day, and we got
I know you guys got
about 100 games to go on.
I totally understand. No, I just got a couple games on my mind that I want to play today, and it's a couple of them, so I don't know how I'm going to go about it. So I figured I'd just tell you guys real quick, and you guys tell me what I should do. Is that cool?
What you got, man? Yo, listen, guys, just so you know, Irvin's a gambler. He's one of the SBTV Nation, and you know what? Him and I go back and forth, and we discuss our plays a little bit because that's what we do when we're not handicappers. You know what I mean? So what you got on the ticket, Playboy?
Well, I was very impressed with – I told you that Maryland's win over Wisconsin. Their guard play is very good. They got 3 players that average over 13.5 points. That dude Mello, that point guard, he's a stud. I'm very impressed with them, so I'm going to fly high with them against the Michigan State Warriors today. And, yeah, I'm going with Maryland today. That's my one pick. Georgetown, I like against St. John's. I normally I would stay away from it, but Georgetown is my team, so I'm probably just going to go in it just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
That's the game right there I tell you to stay away from because, initially I actually had liked St. John's in that game. But, initially I had liked St. John's in that game. But then when I looked at it and I looked over all the stats, man, that's going to be a real stomach ache. That's going to be a real stomach ache.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a stomach ache. Yeah, Georgetown, I think, is like underdogs by 1 point because they're away.
Yeah,
the only reason I like looking at that is because it's good value. So I figure I might throw it in the parlay and get lucky. So yeah.
Let's bounce back real quick to Maryland and the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah.
Wolverines, my bad.
Michigan. I was like, who's the Michigan State Warriors? Let me.
Had a couple of drinks last night.
Let me just take a look real quick here, brother, and see what we got here. Maryland, Michigan, first of all, is 14-13. Like I said, they're 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games on the road, though, guys. So you know what? This Michigan team they're not that. I mean, how could I say this? If I had to rank them in a 1 to 10 scenario, I'd say rank them a 5. But they got a potential to be an 8 at times. They're not bad, but
not on the road.
Not on the road. Maryland, let's just take a but here's what scares me about Maryland, guys. I don't know if you're doing a money line, Irv, or you're doing the point spread, but Maryland.
Money line.
All right, cool.
It's money line revolution, baby.
Oh, money line revolution. Maryland is 23-5. But they're 9-15-1 against the spread, and they're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games at home, but 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games. So Maryland probably gets the job done here, especially feeling high off that Wisconsin win. I like them. I think they win the game. I think it's going to be tighter than all you guys think, though. So you know what? Just be careful with it. And if you're going to do anything, take it in a money line. That's all I got to say. What
Absolutely.
else? What do you got, Dan?
Do you like that, Dan?
I mean, I'm on Maryland with the 8 points. I think
nice.
Maryland. Here's my thing: is Maryland plays extremely well. Especially at home on a 4-game winning streak, won 5 out of the last 6. They lost that game at Iowa, which but since then you're talking Indiana at home, Penn State on the road, Nebraska, and then they beat Wisconsin by 6, which gives them a lot of confidence. Okay. They're coming in this game, a lot of confidence. Michigan, a bad road team. I actually think Maryland wins by double digits.
All right, cool deal.
Right.
Irv, well, let's jump into your plays real quick. What else you got?
Do you guys like LSU against Ole Miss today? You don't have to break it down. You just let me know, because I know you guys got to talk about a whole bunch of games, so you just let me know if you like LSU against Ole Miss.
LSU is given 4.5 to 5 points. I can tell you Ole Miss is a pretty good team. LSU, the last game they played with Auburn, dude, they couldn't miss a basket at all.
Yep.
They were like nonstop, and I had the under in the game, and I cashed it. And don't ask me how the hell I cashed this under, but I did. It was like 153 points, and I want to say it ended up at like 147 or something like that. But LSU can score, and
can score.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: LSU can score, but their whole offensive game is complete, right? They shoot 46% from the field. They're like 17th in the country in assists. They are 10th in offensive rebounds in the country, and they're 38th in points per game. They're putting up 74 points a game. And then on the other side, on the defense, look, they give up 67 points, but they rebound extremely well. They block the ball. They got a lot of guys that can disrupt the middle of that lane. I'm all over LSU today. That's another one of my favorite games. I thought that line was going to be closer to like 6.5, 7. And so when I saw that I could get it at 4.5, I jumped on it real quick.
Okay. All right.
Especially at home.
Yep. Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, that's all the plays I really needed help on. Like, I didn't know what to do. I'll probably end up doing what Dr. Bizzle said, and probably, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but stay away from the Georgetown St. John's game. Yeah, so I'm gonna play those teams, all my NCAA team on a probably small amount parlay, put like probably $20 on it. But my other plays are hockeys. I'm already put them in. The Bruins, automatically they're winners, and the Wilds and the Washington Wizards, they should be money today.
All right, cool deal, brother. Cool deal. Well, listen, as you know what I mean? We always go back and forth, man. We love to help you out anytime, man. That's what we're all about here, brother. You know what I'm saying? One
Absolutely,
big
man.
community
my
kid.
brothers in Vegas, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, we got 3 weeks, brother. 3 weeks away.
It's grind time with the Vegas Slim Down.
Yes, sir. I know, man. I had a couple beers last night, and my wife wants.
Me too.
My wife wants to do a family party tonight.
You guys better not be showing up to Vegas, all alcohol free and trying to keep up with me, because that could be a problem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You guys better start, drink some skinny margaritas or something, but you better get some juice.
Oh, definitely. But cool deal, brother. All right, Irv, thanks so much, man. Dan and I got a lot.
Man. I appreciate you guys giving me time on Saturday, man. I'm gonna be listening to the show. You and Dr. Dizzle keep killing it, man. Stay up, brothers.
Thanks so much, brother.
Thanks, bro.
We appreciate it.
Take care, dudes.
We appreciate it.
Have a good one, man.
Go Mets.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's my boy Irvin, guys. You know what? Hey, listen, that's what we're all about. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be no handicapper being in the business 30 years to call our show. You know what I'm saying? You could be just you're big guy like he is over in the East Coast in New York here, rocking and rolling. So
I don't care what anybody says. Everybody who's a handicapper now started off as a fish gambler at some time. You know, it's just a progression of things, and I love everybody. I don't care if you're a rookie, if you're a 30-year vet. Man, that's what the nation's about. Just brothers helping brothers.
Absolutely. So, and nobody could be mad at that. I'm sorry. And if you are mad at that, you're probably just a fan in denial. That's all I got to say about that. All right. So, let's see. Because, a lot of the people like to listen to our show more than our listeners and talk about it. But anyway, we got Louisville coming into Florida State. And I can tell you right now, Dan, there is no way in hell that I would bet Louisville with anybody's money, let alone my money. And you know what? Louisville is -4 to 4.5 at Florida State. This got stomachache written all over it. I hated the way Louisville played the other day.
Part of me is leaning on this Florida State money line almost.
Oh, damn.
I'm not going to touch it.
I'm
not going to touch it because I have so much other action. But Louisville is collapsing, dude.
I know. Did you watch them the other night? How horrible they were?
Horrible. And look, I watched the whole thing. With Coach, on ESPN. Dude looks like a beaten man. The whole Chris Jones thing has really, I think, gotten to him and the team. Not only obviously on the court, but I think in their heads. It's a huge loss, and to lose somebody, obviously, whatever, innocent till proven guilty and all that. I'm not going to make judgment on that, but I'll let the courts do it. But for the team, it's really crushed them. And, now you're going on the road to a Florida State team that, hey, look, they hung in there with Miami. They obviously didn't pull out that win, but they're not a terrible team. And Louisville is playing like a defeated team.
Yeah, they are.
They're really falling off. I'd stay away from it completely. But part of me thinks if you want to get involved in this game for some reason, the Florida State side is not bad.
It's not bad, but we're not betting that at all. And I'm telling you, you know what I'm going to bet Louisville? I'm going to bet them when they play someone that's going to lay it, smack it down on them. And I'm going to bet against them. That's what I'm going to do. But you know what? And you would never think that I won that game. You know how bitter I am with Louisville, but dude, they were just so bad. I was like, I can't believe I bet this team.
You the Pepto-Bismol all day.
Oh my Lord, kid! Oh my Lord. So, all right, let's keep it moving with that. Louisville's 22-6, really quick. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games, as you know if you've been betting them. But they're surprisingly, I want to say their straight up record is, they're 19-5 in the last 24 on the road.
Right.
But that goes back to last year, and they were a lot better last year.
They were a better teteam last year, and like I said, man, this whole situation has just killed this team.
Yeah, I agree. And if you look at Florida State, 15-14, 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games, this Florida State team is. So they're pesky, and 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games at home. Wow.
Yeah.
No interest.
That's why, it's a lot of people, I don't know why, seem to be leaning on Louisville here. Just stay away, guys.
Yeah,
stay away.
Kick rocks with that. Kick rocks with that. Let's see. People retweeting our show today. I got Jason Riley, Sports Attack, Shane Redenius. What's going on, brother? As far as the away teams in NBA, brother, I gotta probably just stick with my my gut on that, being because the Milwaukee Bucks got me last night. J. Rich the Mayor got Nicholas J. OJFB, Crusher Pookie. I got It's Woods all the way in Australia. The Real Deal, yo, Eddie E, Neil Cafferty, and Sir Mata. What is up? All right. Let's take a look at what we got next here. Let me just switch up the track a little bit and go from there. But we have UNC coming into Miami. And UNC, North Carolina, is 19-9 going into Miami, and Miami is 18-10. Taking a look at Miami, Miami is a 1 to 2 point underdog in this matchup, which I feel is the line's appropriate on this. You got a conference matchup, an ACC battle here. North Carolina sporadic, to say the least. We're looking at all the best lines on sportsbetterstv.com, guys. So take a look at it. Click on the team itself if you want to see all the lines, but we're showing you the best ones here. You can get Miami +2 if you wanted to, or North Carolina -1, whatever you want to do there. Dan, I got no opinion on this nasty game.
So this is a game I did homework on. I was looking at UNC. I figured, hey, maybe this is like a bounce-back game, but then I really went into it, man. And on the road lately, they've been not good at all. I mean, they lost to Louisville by 10 in that overtime game. And then, they hung in there with Virginia at home, ended up losing by 9. And then they won at BC, which, whatever, it's BC. And then got smoked at Pittsburgh, lost that crazy game at Duke. And, they're coming off that loss against NC State. Man, I just say you got to stay away from this game.
Ugly.
I think it's going to be close. But, it's just too close to call.
My man, Direct Sports Solutions said y'all are dope. And I got, let's see, I got Emzer out there, I got Spot Bet, I got Matty Fresh rocking and rolling out on Twitter right now. And G Rose just joined the party. What is going on, brother? All right. So, taking a look at this, Sean Harnish is sending me a bunch of information here. He said the Yale line's going to be -19. You know what? I said 17. I was pretty close on that. We'll take a look at it. We'll see where it lands. That's a lot of points. I mean, I love Yale. Don't get me wrong.
Line it.
Yeah, right. -4,000. We got the Dayton Flyers coming into VCU today. This is an interesting game. I mean, Dayton is winners of, 20 straight games at home? But VCU is -6.5 to 7.
Insane.
Oh God, man, I can't find nothing I like today so far.
Insane. I mean, this is look. VCU is 21-7. Dayton's 21-6. And I know that Dayton at VCU, but VCU plays incredibly close games. Incredibly close games for the most. And you can't. Look. I understand the whole money line revolution. I love that you guys are doing what you do. I'm a points guy. Everybody knows that. And I can't mess with no points here. I can't even pick this game on a money line. I think Dayton can go into VCU and beat them. VCU, I mean, dude, I mean, Dayton is not bad. I mean, I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know. It's just.
You know what, Dan?
Big game, man.
You know what? Dayton is 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games on the road. So their record is 21-6. So Jekyll and Hyde, to say the least.
That's true, but you got to look a little deeper into that. George Washington, decent team. They lost by 1 in overtime. UMass is not a bad team. I'm not saying they're good on the road, but this it's not a long travel. And these teams are both 11-4 in the A10. This game means everything. For both of these teams. I mean, and the thing is Dayton's got to be pissed off, man. I mean, they're 21-6 and 11-4. They have 1 less loss than VCU, and they're not ranked. And VCU's the ranked team. They're both in the same conference. That will put a chip on my shoulder. And I just don't like these grudge match, mid-conference with really good schools. Look, these are both really good schools. I just would stay away. I think it's going to be a stomach ache. And I almost like Dayton on the points. Part of me says that if you like a couple other games that you want to put 5 points on it and get Dayton maybe up to like +11 or +11.5, then I think that's where you go with it if you want to go with it.
I'm going to go against you on this.
All right.
I've watched both these teams play.
Yep.
I've bet Dayton before, and I was disgusted. Not as disgusted as I was, taking Louisville. Dayton, just the decision-making and stuff like that. I like VCU's. They got more power in the paint. I say VCUski wins the game here. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a stomach ache. But at the end of the day, I think they get the job done. So you might want to take a look at that, guys. That's a tiny little lean on your boy, the Mad Hatter's radar. But I really think that they get the job done here. My man G. Rose is good morning. Happy Saturday to you as well, my man. Taking a look at this.
My man Sports Attacks, I think you're like reading my mind or something, bro, because you just threw out two of my favorite plays in that Northern Iowa and that Arkansas. So that's pretty crazy. We're going to get into those, though. Definitely, brother.
VCUski is 21-7, 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. Damn,
that's the thing,
kid.
man.
Damn.
That's the thing, and I
2-6.
I honestly couldn't believe that VCU lost to Richmond. Look, I know it's a grudge match game, but I felt like that was a game that VCU really needed. I mean, that would have given them a fairly comfortable lead by a game and a half going into the Dayton game, and they still lost it in double overtime after they worked so hard to get back into the game. That probably took a lot out of them. I don't know, man. I just say you stay away from this. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, if it's something I may touch with a light amount of money. I don't know yet for sure, but we'll see where it ends up going. My girl, Vegas girl here, is asking if Yale's going to be tired today. I went there and I watched them live, and they were very energized last night. They were feeling really good. The crowd was rocking. Everything was going nuts over there. Penn is traveling. They played last night as well, and Penn really stinks, but I gotta be honest with you, honey. It's gonna be a crazy line, and I just don't see that. I don't really think we're gonna get much value in it today. I really don't. I mean, as much as I think Yale will win, I just don't know if it's gonna be worth it for us.
What I would honestly look at in that Yale game is something like a first half under, and then see what the points line will be for the second half. Because I think both teams will come into that game pretty tired. We saw it with Yale last time they came off a back-to-back. But like Hatter said, Penn's also good. This is going to be a back-to-back for them as well, and they're the traveling team.
Yep. So
I think the first half under in that game, and I got to see what it's going to be released at, obviously, but that's just a lean that I have now that I'm thinking about it. That under in the first half looks good. And then you got to take a look at Yale in the second half because look at that points line in the second half and see where it's at. But that's how I think it's going to go down. But I think you're right. I think the spread at 19, there's no value with that.
Dude, they had magic last night, man. I mean, I was like right in back of the basket watching them, and these kids were feeling themselves last night, and to carry that momentum into today, I think is going to be an issue for Pennsylvania. I really do. But it's going to be a lot of points. So we got Butler coming into DePaul today. Here's another kind of nasty game. Butler on the road giving 7. I don't really have much interest in putting my money here.
Nope.
Under over 139 to 140 and a half. Let's see here. Let me take a look. Butler is 20-8. Going into 12-17, DePaul. DePaul's losers of 5 straight. Neither one of these teams are doing halfway decent. Butler is 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. But if you've been money lining them, they're 7-2 in the last 9 games straight up. DePaul is 12. Wow, surprisingly, 12-14 against the spread in the last 16 games, but they're 0-5 straight up in the last 5.
Right.
No, dude. Nasty game.
It's gross.
Nasty game. Don't be taking no Butler money line because you want to add another team to your parlay to make some money, guys. Go easy. Stay the hell away from that. I'm going to avoid that like, oh, God. I'm gonna avoid that like I'm gonna avoid tequila in Vegas, man. Let me just tell you about that.
Maybe you're gonna be avoiding tequila.
Yeah, I don't do tequila, man. I get sick off that. All right, so we got the next one here. Yale opened at 13. Papa Smurf is telling me here.
Okay.
Why am I not seeing it though? I don't have it yet. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see where it pops, kid. This is a game I like. I like TCUski's coming into Oklahoma.
Yep.
I like Oklahoma in this spot. Oklahoma is given 10.5 to 11.5 points, though, guys. So you got to lay some pretty thick juice here. Over 131.5 to 133. I did watch TCU play Kansas a little tough last weekend. So I think this game will be a little tighter than you think, but I think at the end of the day, I think Oklahoma gets it done. What's your take, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma gets it done. I'm not really touching this game. I mean, TCU is still a pretty solid team. I mean, they're 17-11, but they're bad in the Big 12. They're 4-11 in the Big 12. So I think if you can find some value maybe in putting it together with some other money lines. But, Oklahoma has played some decently close games. I mean, remember, they took Texas Tech to overtime and only won by 4. They, Texas at home, they won by 2. They lost to K-State. Those are the last 3 games, guys. So another one where I'm just gonna kind of sit that one out.
Okay, all right. I could respect that. I could definitely respect that, Dan, because you just never know. But I really like Oklahoma. I want to say Oklahoma is like a touch less, more attractive than Ohio State or something.
I mean, the thing that I like is, they smoked TCU at TCU. So, but then part of me is like, I've seen some of these games where, right, and I think the revenge factor is mitigated when you have to go back on the road. But, I don't know. I mean, they did win that game by 12. I think they should that's the thing. I keep going back and forth, and I just want to stay away from it. I think Oklahoma, in the end, wins.
Yeah.
But I don't think they cover.
Well, that's all I care about, brother.
I know.
Just win the game, baby.
hey, like I said, you guys start your money line revolution. I still love points.
Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. That's probably why a lot of the haters don't come at you.
Hey, I don't care, man.
All right,
let them come at me.
So we got
you
the next
one. You come at all.
That's right, baby. That's right. We're a big happy team here, brother. Just looking at this, my boy Shane Redinius is sending me that the away teams went 8-6 against the spread in the NBA last night. Yeah, it just so happens that your boy had to go and pick one of them. One of the losers. Oh my God, I can't believe the Bucks were up 11 in the fourth quarter, kid. Pissed me off. Damn those bastards. But anyway, going back to this, let me just take a look, Dan, while I got this up. All right, so the next one we got on a ticket here, we got Villanova coming in at Xavier. And I've been hearing a lot of rumblings, a lot of people feeling this Xavier team recently. But Villanova is Villanova, guys. And Villanova it's not a heavy line at all. You're looking at a -2.5 to -3.5 point spread, which I understand. I get it. You don't seem to understand this line, though, Dan.
No, I don't. When I thought this game was going to be 6, 7, maybe even 8 Villanova. Look, Xavier, yes, they have been a good team. I've won some money on Xavier, but they're 18-11, 8-8 in the Big East. Villanova, guys, is 26-2 and 13-2 in the Big East. The last game they lost on the road was at Georgetown, which was a bad game. They lost at Seton Hall in overtime on January 3rd, but they've won 12 games in a row. And you're talking about at Butler, a win. You're talking about, winning against Providence by 28 points, and that's a ranked Providence team, guys. So, you're telling me at Xavier today, I don't care about the road. Villanova is well coached. They handle the road fine. Oh, man, I'm all over Villanova today, all over it.
All right, man. I'm taking a look at this here. Xavier's not bad. They're 18-11, 4-1-1 against the spread in the last 6 games, but they're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games at home. Where Villanova, winners of 9 straight games with a 26-2 record, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road, 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games. So you've been money lining them. You've been laying the points. You've been cashing with Nova all the way to the bank. And I got to give it to the Dream. He called them in the beginning of the year. He watched them once, and he kept pounding Nova this whole time. So big ups to him on that. But tough game. It might be something to just watch.
I don't know. I think I also think Xavier coming off that heartbreaker at St. John's, losing by a point like that takes a lot of wind out of the sails. Xavier's, a bubbling team right now. I mean, and they really needed that win. And obviously, they're going to play their asses off in this game. I don't think it matters. I love Villanova. I just think they are the complete package of a team. I think there are a couple teams better than them, but I definitely see them as a Final Four contender and someone even today.
Wow, that's surprising.
I really think Villanova's that good, and I love a great coach team. Xavier's just not in their class, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that. I mean, if you look at who Xavier's played, obviously, they lost at Villanova by 13. I think Villanova, this spread doesn't make sense. I don't think you can tell me that 11-point difference because they're at home. It doesn't make sense to me, and that's why I'm all over Villanova today with the points.
All right.
I would have been all over them at 5 or 6 points, 7 points.
Yep, I hear you. Okay, all right. So I'm probably gonna sit back and watch that game, Dan. I don't know. That game kind of makes me a little nervous, to be honest with you. But we'll take a look at it and see where it lands.
It will be close until about 10 minutes left in the second half. Mark me on that. Go back
my boy. I'm looking at this. My boy Bobby Betts from Instagram. He's loving St. John's and he's loving Xavier today. So. While we're on the subject of that game, hey, that's somebody else and that's going against you there. So we'll see where it ends up going, man.
Best of luck.
Mano y mano. So we got the next one here. We got my boys from Northern Iowa coming into Wichita State. And the Shockers probably got revenge on their minds. But
maybe they do,
but maybe it don't matter. Because this Northern Iowa team is no joke. And Northern Iowa is plus 6 points today at Wichita State. Wow, I didn't expect that line to be where that is at all.
Insane.
I think that line's a little crazy, to be honest with you. I may do a little gambling play here, and I may do a Northern Iowa money line just to be fun. Northern Iowa is 27-2 winners of 16 straight games, and you know what? Playing on the road does not faze them, guys. They're 6-0-1 against the spread in the last 7 games on the road.
Absolutely destroying teams,
and they've been killing teams. This is going to come down to the last shot, dude. I think this game comes down to the last shot.
I don't even think so. Look, I mean, you're talking about a Northern Iowa team. Granted, at home, these teams played recently. I mean, less than a month ago. And Northern Iowa beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they were up 20-something points, and they ended up winning by 16 in that game. It wasn't even close. And again, I am a believer of home road, especially in college. But look, Northern Iowa has smoked people on the road. They're not scared of traveling. This Wichita State team is good, and they're going to create some problems in the tournament. Northern Iowa is a better team. And I think they go in there today, and I think they have a shot to win the game. That said, I'm at plus 6.5. I'm taking it with the points. I might throw a small money line on Northern Iowa just because, hey, it's good value there. I think the money line is really good value.
I'm gonna have a little fun with that. I'm gonna have a little fun with that.
Why not?
I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna tell you right now that there's a couple of underdogs that I like today. Northern Iowa is one of them. You know what? Looking at this game, I mean, if I do it, guys, it will be such light money. It's going to be more fun money than anything. But if I do it, I'm going to do a dog money line parlay. I'm going to take Northern Iowa, and I think I'm going to mess with Oakland plus 400, dude. Because Oakland's coming into Wisconsin.
A lot of people are all over them.
I know. I've been, my boy, someone came on the show. It was Doug Upstone. Sorry about that, guys. He came on the show a couple weeks ago and turned us on to Oakland. They've been covering like Yale has. So you know what? We started taking a look at them, and they've been money ever since. So I may jump on both of those teams. I think it would pay like $20, probably pay like $150 or something like that. Something crazy. You know what I mean?
Maybe even more than that. But it'd be good. And you could find that Northern Iowa money line at plus 245, guys. I mean, I'm not saying you throw down a bunch of change on it, but here's the thing: if you see a money line at plus 200 or better, and you truly believe that game is going to come down, to the last shot, why not lay it? Because it can go either way. Yeah, you're going to lose 50-50, but you know what? If you think it's going to come down to the last shot anyway and you see a plus 200 or greater value, that's where you can make some serious cash. Just tread lightly.
And if you're ahead at the halftime, you can always hedge too and make that as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So let's.
One thing though to just about hedging real quick, guys, because I see a lot of people out there hedging on a lot of I want to say mid-major schools, but here's the thing, and you can see this all the time. Those games are almost more like NBA games where they're games of runs. And, these teams will go on 15-2 runs, and then it'll be a 15-2 run the other way because they're just not that good. And sometimes they just stop playing defense. So, just watch out, when you're thinking of hedging. The better teams still, even if they're down, 15-20 in those little conferences, they still have a chance to come back. It's just the way it works out. So I'm just saying, watch out for the hedging.
All right, definitely. Next one we got on the ticket is we got Arkansas coming into Kentucky, kid. Kentucky is undefeated winners of 28 straight games. Kentucky is against the spread, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5. Really turning it up. I heard a little news that they may be sitting some players today. I could be wrong on that, guys. Definitely do your own homework on that. But even their second team is, money as well. Check out my boy Wheatley over at Crush the Bookies camp over there. Wheatley Money. He's a big Kentucky fan, and he can give you a lot of the scoop on that. But Arkansas is winners of 7 straight games, 5-0 straight up in the last 5, obviously. So 7-0 pretty much straight up. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games on the road as well. Kentucky at home is just monsters, dude. There's just no way I can't take Arkansas. You want to mess with them though, huh?
I am messing with them, man. Arkansas is a supremely underrated team. And the thing is they got players that aren't scared of anybody. And 14.5, look, I understand it's Kentucky. It's at home. They're 28-0. They kill cats. But you're also talking about, an Arkansas team that has not been that bad. They've won a bunch of games in a row. They're 23-5 overall, 12-3 in the SEC. 14.5 is a lot of points. I think this is a game where Kentucky gets a little scared. I almost might throw a small money line play at plus 1,100 on Arkansas, just because I got to look and see who's benched, who might be sitting, and I understand that even the second team at Kentucky is dope, but Arkansas is a really good team, and the thing is man, this is such a grudge match. They're gonna play so hard. That's why I think at plus 14.5, I like it.
How about this, dude? You do a $10 money line parlay with Northern Iowa, Arkansas, and Oakland. $10 pays $1,832, man.
Might as well.
Dude, I would. What time are these games here? Is it what time is this Kentucky? Kentucky's at 4. So you know what? You get the first 2 under your belt. Then you can kind of watch the first half of the the third game, and hey, maybe you put 1,000 the other way and hit no matter what on $10. Rainmaker's telling me Kentucky rolls, and it's a sucker line though. Bluntmaster's telling me Arkansas is great on the road, so yeah, we'll take a little peek at that. Hey, you know what? $10, whatever, kid. I can
exactly.
I can spend $10 on doing a side when I go to dinner.
Lunch in New Haven, it's a good $15-20 right there. So it's half a lunch.
Although $10 can get me a lot of booze at the Yale game, so.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true. So, nickels make quarters. I say that all the time, guys. And there's just no way I think Arkansas is going to beat Kentucky at all. But, you got that 14.5 points. That's, that's a good amount of points. That's a good amount of points.
And this is the same Kentucky team that, has Alabama hung in there a little bit with them. Georgia hung in there a little bit with them. Vanderbilt hung in there, and these are home games for Kentucky guys. You're talking about a Vandy team that hung in there with them till the end, and 7-point win. Alabama, they ended up winning by 15, pulling away at the end. Georgia, they won by 11, and now you're talking about a live Arkansas team that's extremely good, especially on the road. And, Kentucky might be benching some players. So look very, very carefully into that. If you're on Kentucky, well, God bless.
Yeah.
I just,
man.
I got to see what the deal is with the reports, but
yeah, take a look and see who they're sitting, guys. But I could tell you one thing. The other night when they played Mississippi State, I took Mississippi State plus 11.5 for the first half, and I won, dude. So this is probably going to be, 9 points here? But that's when Kentucky's on the road. So that's when that's when I like to do it. I don't know. I'm not going to do it here. I'm just not going to do it. But maybe I'll do that $10 play that we talked about.
What the hell? For $1,800?
Right. Yeah, right. $1,800 and 100 pays $18,000, kid. So taking a look at this one, we got Vatek coming into Virginia today, and I'm sure this line is absolutely crazy. Wow. 19 to 19.5 points, and they haven't even put a total up yet. You'd have to lay $5,000 for Virginia to win $100.
This is funny line, Vatek. Let's just throw them in there too.
Yep. All right.
This game's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, this is gonna be an ugly game.
I'm not touching it, but they probably will cover plus 10.
Yeah, taking a look at this here. Let me just see.
If you watch the last game Virginia played, their offense is actually starting to click a little bit. They were draining threes. They actually looked somewhat proficient on offense. And that defense is, like I said, one of the best I've ever seen.
Virginia 0-4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games at home. So if you've been laying points with Virginia at home, you have been just shaking your head, man, pissed off at the world. So you know what? Virginia Tech is losers of 4 straight games. They're 1-7 in the last 8. They are 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games on the road. This may be a game that your boy may be laying the points, brother. I may be laying the points here. I may be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, what they just did at Wake Forest, I mean, I can't help but laugh. I mean, 70-34. And now it's Virginia Tech at home. And you know, because it's like a grudge match, right? It's a rivalry. They're both right down the road. They're going to want to kill each other.
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking at this now. I mean, Virginia is ranked 2nd in the nation, giving up 48 points a game at home. But 19 is so much. It's just so much.
Normally, and look, I said a couple weeks ago, and this is almost like contradicting myself, but a couple weeks ago, there was, Virginia had a big spread, and I was telling everybody to stay away from it, and, I was right there. But here's the thing, like I said, man, that offense has not been bad, and it looked like it really got turned on against Wake Forest. I can't lay the points here. There's other games that I have, but I do think that they'll be up. It's just one of those things where, man, if they're up 25 with 5 minutes left, nobody wants to get their boys hurt. I know their second team is good too, but you don't want to end up losing this game by a couple points.
No, definitely not. So
on the other hand, they could win by 40.
Yeah, they can lay it. I mean, they killed Wake, dude.
Dude, murder.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
I'm surprised that Wake Forest is going to play another game this season.
That was like Arizona State the other night. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! I mean, it's amazing to see some of these teams that you think are somewhat decent just get absolutely rolled like that. But I think Virginia's been looking for that game all year to get offensive confidence. And I think they got that, especially on the road. Now they come home, live crowd, against Virginia Tech, big rivalry. And Virginia Tech's a bad team. Part of me almost now is talking myself into taking Virginia in the points, but I'm still going to stay away from it.
Yeah, just go easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what team is going to show up here. I mean, if anything, it'll be a really light play for me. But, giving 19 points with anybody sometimes is tough for me.
Maybe what I'll do is, put 100 on put 100 on the points and then put like $5 on the Virginia Tech money line.
Yeah. You're nuts. You're nuts. All right. Let's take a look. Because there's no way Virginia Tech wins this game at all, brother. No. So that you might as well just buy me a drink in Vegas on that. So taking a look here, let's just move into the next one here.
We've got more than $5, brother, but I'll still buy you a drink.
West Virginia coming into Baylor. Wow. This is going to be a tough matchup here. Baylor's -5 to 5.5. This game's got stomach.
I think you're betting this game. You need to get your Tums ready. Look, West Virginia is a different team on the road, but man, I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Baylor. So I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this one alone. There's so many games today. I just can't do it.
Damn, you guys are all over the place with this Yale line. I'll tell you, because it just came out. And I got it on sportsbetterstv.com. I got Yale -15.5 to 16. So I said 17. I was close. Sean was at 19. Pop was at 13. So we're all around there. But so you're probably going to be -10 for the first half. So that's probably a good money line. We can add that into something there. I think I like it because Penn is just really bad, guys. I mean, they won like 30% of their games or something like that.
I want to see what the first half over under is too. I don't know if that's
there's no totals posted or anything like that yet. But dude, I was thinking, I'm sitting there right now. It's kind of like an intimate, like little venue there, right? Can you imagine like some junkie that's got like 10 grand on a game screaming at these kids like in the front row? Make that! I got 10 grand on you, you bastard!
Ron talking about what he was doing at Yale.
Oh my God!
When they go into the locker room,
I'm like, I'm sitting there talking to my wife. I'm like, how obnoxious would that be if someone's sitting there screaming like losing 10 grand on Yale, screaming at the kids to make their free throws? You know what I mean? That would shake them up so bad. You know what I mean? So,
I know.
And I'm sure it's happened at times. So.
Of course. And in those arenas where, there's not that many people, you can hear everything.
I know. You get thrown right out of there, brother. Right out of there.
But, it's funny. I got a brother who's 10 years younger than me who's actually a senior at Quinnipiac this year. And he's got a class with an unnamed, I won't say the guy's name because, I don't want him to get in trouble or nothing, but an unnamed Quinnipiac basketball player. So I always want to tell my brother, be like, yo, tell this guy, lay some points.
You're out of your mind, kid. All right, next one we got here is we got West. So we're talking about West Virginia anyway. Baylor's 20-7. West Virginia's 22-6. I think they're pretty similar teams here. Baylor might do a little bit more to them down low. I think Baylor is probably going to get the job done here, being 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when they played West Virginia, and 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games at home. But West Virginia's not playing bad on the road. They're 7-3 in the last 10. So you know what, guys? Here's another one. I'm sorry. I wish I had more information for you on this, but I am going to tell you to stay the hell away from it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, you can't go West Virginia here. I mean, West Virginia lost by 18 to Baylor at home. And West Virginia is a much better team at home than on the road. And now they got to go back into Baylor less than a month later. I know they've been playing well. I know they beat OK State. They beat Kansas. They beat a decent Texas team, but they also got rolled by Iowa State on the road just like 14 days ago. They lost by 20 points, and they've already lost by almost 20 to Baylor. I don't like this game at all. I'm not sold on Baylor. I think sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. But if you're going anywhere, I think you got to go Baylor.
Yeah. I think we're gonna find more value in junkie plays today. To be honest with you, we got Iowa State at Kansas State today. Iowa State is -3.5 all across the board. Under over 141.5 to 143.5. Iowa State's been playing better on the road lately. And, 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games on the road, brother. Where Kansas State, you know what? This Kansas State team is pesky, especially at home. I mean, they just beat Kansas, so they got to be feeling themselves a little bit,
Yeah, but that's also like their Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Like, part of me feels like, that big rivalry game, the whole school was pumped up. I'm sure those kids were partying their asses off, all week.
Breaking tables, storming the court.
Like almost killing, Bill Self, almost killing Kansas players. Like, those kids were idiots, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's college, man. You know what I mean? That's the fun.
Have fun, but it's just don't be suffocating the opposing coach. Just beat them. I mean, you just literally beat the crap out of them. So I think that I don't like Iowa State on the road almost ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take this game today, but I do think that they get it done. That's my lean. I think that Iowa State, going in there, this is obviously a big game for them. Obviously every game for them is big because of seeding and all that, how they go into their tournament and then the other tournaments. Look, I think Iowa State gets it done, but there's other games out there for me.
Yeah, here's a good one. We got Texas coming into Kansas. What scares me about this game is I think Texas needs a win at some point. And
they do, but they're not getting one here.
7.5 points. Kansas is favored. 136.5 to 137.5. I can tell you that Kansas is probably heated with themselves after being up most of the game at Kansas State and losing. Texas is just spiraling out of control, man. Texas is 17-11, losers of 3 straight games. Probably going to be on the bubble soon if they keep losing.
They are on the bubble. I mean, they might. I don't think they're a tournament team right now. I mean, 17-11, 6-9 in conference. I mean, that's not a tournament team.
Yeah.
There's just too many teams ahead of them.
I agree. And their conference got a lot of teams coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Texas has already played their way out of the tournament, which is why they're in this death spiral. Look, they've played good teams. You're talking about at Oklahoma, losing by 2. That was a game they really needed, and, they were up in that game, and losing that game really seemed to crush them. Then they lost to Iowa State at home. They lost at West Virginia, and none of those teams are Kansas. None of those teams are Kansas, and now here comes Kansas today. At home, 22-6, 11-4 in the Big 12. I think Kansas double-digit win today. I love this game.
Cool. My boy Sean is telling me that there's private suites at the MGM Sportsbook on the second floor for Fridays. Saturday, if you guys want to get down with that, give the MGM call and see what you could do with that. Let me take a look here and see what else we got. So Kansas, I'm leaning a little bit. I think they win the game. I even think they may be able to cover this spread because just Texas is just so bad. But we'll keep it moving there and see if we can find anything else because I don't love the game. I just don't love the game. We got Syracuse coming into the Dukies. And this is a conference matchup yet again, but I really, really, really like the Dukies in this spot. I think they're going to win the game. I think they're going to, lay smack it down on Cuse. I think it's going to be tight for a little bit because Duke loves to do that, especially in conference games. But the line is anywhere from 12 to 12.5, over 146.5 to 147.
That's a good line.
That's a good first half line.
It's a good first half line, but it's a good game line too. I mean, you're talking about Duke team that went into Syracuse. They won in the Carrier Dome. I know it was 8 points, and now they're coming back at home. Looks like Okafor is healthy. I think they manhandle Cuse today.
All right. Let's take a look at this here real quick. Syracuse is 18-10, so they're trying to make their noise a little bit, try to make some, try to get in this tournament or whatever. You know what I mean?
They're banned.
Yeah. They're banned. That's right. Oh, so that's right. Yeah, they're done. They're done.
The thing. Syracuse is already done. You're talking about a Syracuse team. They're coming off a win at Notre Dame, which was shocking. I don't see them doing that to Duke. Don't see them doing that to Duke. So hey, that's where I'm at. Maybe I'm putting a little too much faith, but I think Duke will just really, really, really play them extremely well at home. And, they, like I said, they won by 8 in Syracuse. Put another 5 points in that. You got your 13. I think we're right there.
All right. So let's move on to the next one, man, because we got, games for days here, man. Damn.
I know.
All right. Let's move on to the next, guys. We've got, I think the Dukies win the game. I really do. We got Boise coming into San Diego State. This should be an interesting matchup. Boise against the spread has been one of the best teams in the league, in the nation, rather. San Diego State is giving them anywhere from 6.5 to 7. I mean, Boise, I know, is money at home. But taking a look at this, they're also 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road, dude.
Yeah, and,
11
Boise...
Wow.
Boise's a bubble team right now. I think depending on who, which guy you watch or whatever, they're either last 4 in or last 4 out, I think, right now. You're talking about a Boise team, and look, UNLV isn't that good, but, they did beat UNLV on the road. This is a huge game for them. And San Diego State is a good team, but I think they're not, not as good as years past where you've seen them make noise in the tournament. This is almost one of those where I almost think you lean on the Boise State money line.
Yeah, we got a bunch of dog money lines that we're looking at today.
Yeah, I almost think I lean Boise State money line. San Diego has, they played well on the road, but they lost to Boise State, guys. Remember, they lost at Boise by 15.
Revenge spot.
Boise held them to 46 points, 61-46. That was 20 days ago. About 3 weeks ago, they've won every game since, but the competition for them has not been good. Wyoming, Colorado State, University of New Mexico, and San Jose State. So those are wins they should have. Part of me just likes this Boise State money line, man.
San Diego State 22-6, winners of 4 straight, 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games, and 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games at home. It's gonna be tough. But dude, listen to this: Boise against the spread in the last 12 games, 11-1, bro.
11-1, and
wow.
also 11-1 straight up in their last 12.
Holy crap, man! I don't know about that. You know what? I think that's an 8 o'clocker.
That's a lot of points.
That's an 8 o'clocker, man. So, maybe we'll be feeling froggy if some of these, maybe some of these upsets happen today, and we're feeling good, and maybe we'll continue the thing there, the little streak there. Here's the big game of the day, dude. This is probably, Northern Iowa and Wichita State is pretty dope, but when you got Arizona coming into the Utah Utes, this is a big game, okay? You got Arizona's actually a 1.5 favorite here. I'm sorry, underdog. Utah Utes are favored here by a 1.5, 125 to 126.5. Utah's got an amazing defense, dude. I really
can have bad either.
I know, and both of these teams are shooting in the top 10 as far as field goal percentage. So, wow,
that's why I think
I'm watching this game.
A few pops in me and just watch this.
Yeah, I'm watching this game too, guys. I
like both these teams. I've made money off both these teams this year. I think Utah wins the game. I actually do think, at home, this is a big game. Obviously, Arizona's number 1 in the Pac-12. They're 25-3, 13-2 in conference. Utah's 22-5, 12-3 in conference. This is a big game. They also a grudge match game. Obviously, they lost at Arizona big. I don't know. Coming off what they just did to Arizona State at home, and obviously Arizona State is not Arizona, I can't touch this game because I think Utah wins, but it's really going to go either way.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Let me take a look here real quick. Just going through. I'm going to just sit back and watch too. I'm not interested in that one. Here's another one, dude. Here's another one that I want to watch as well. We got BYU coming into Gonzaga. Wow. BYU getting all them points, getting 12.5 to 13.5 points, dude. Zags should be able to beat this team. I don't see BYU. BYU is pretty, their offense is pretty good, man. But they've been struggling a little bit, scoring. Beat Gonzaga here. I'm going to stay away from this. I got a family party tonight, man. I don't want to be stomach aching this.
I like Gonzaga here a lot. They've started winning by large margins against these teams. They beat BYU by 7 at BYU earlier in
Looking at it here, I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out, man. I don't know.
Snake bit by them in the early going.
Yeah. I'm not gonna mess with that game. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna try to find some other stuff here. Right now, I mean, the only thing I'm seeing is I'm seeing Oklahoma as a money line. I'm seeing Yale first half money line, and I'm seeing maybe Kansas. That's kind of the only thing I'm looking at right now. I mean, this card is crazy today.
I don't know, man. I mean, here's one to look at. You got Tulsa at Memphis. Tulsa's plus 1.5. I actually think Tulsa wins this game today in Memphis. I feel really good about that.
Yeah, I'm looking down. I'm going, guys, we're done with the top 25s. Trying to find some junky stuff here that might tickle your fancy. So,
Tulsa, I think, is still underrated. You got to realize they're 20-7. 13-2 in the American Conference. They're going into Memphis, okay, but Memphis is 17-11, 9-6 in the American, and Tulsa is the much better team. Better team.
Okay, all right.
So Tulsa's only dropped 2 road games all year as well.
All right. So Irvin was plugging LSU ski, versus and you're on that as well. I'm probably going to watch that game, to be honest with you. We got a bunch of other stuff here. There's just so much today. There's so much.
I mean, so I'm on that Tulsa game. I mean, we pretty much went over all the games I'm on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool. I had like I said, my one pseudo junkie-ish play is Tulsa. But other than that, man, some of these games I think have a lot of value. Let's see what happens.
Taking a look at.
I think there's some good teaser potential here today. I know some people don't like teasing. Don't like teasing in college hoop, but I think there are some things, and won some teasers this week. So if you see, I got some 5-point teasers on some dogs. Nothing wrong with that. I think you can take some down, but hey, man, I think there's still some good value on this card today. I got a lot of games, and the other thing too, like we were talking about. A lot of underdog potentials to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely look out for those.
I agree with that. And just taking a look at there, guys, and be careful with Mercer Madness. I know, I've been playing them a little bit, and, I'm up and down with them. But they're playing a really good team today, so just be careful with that. They are playing they got Eastern Tennessee State coming in, and they're pretty much their records are pretty even. So just take a look, and stat wise also Mercer Madness giving 5.5 there. Taking a look down here, Dan. I mean, there's hundreds of games, guys. All right, maybe
Air Force. I kind of like at home over Utah State. These are games, again, that I don't have money on, but if you're looking for some junky plays, Air Force -1 at home against Utah State looks okay.
Maybe Harvard bounces back today. Maybe Harvard bounces back.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. I think Harvard has to win this game, but they looked so bad last night that I'm staying away from that.
All right.
I'm trying to look at some more. I mean, Illinois State at Evansville, but it's because road game. Evansville, I've seen them play a couple times. They're bad. So maybe take a look at that. That's a 2 p.m.er. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the value today is actually in the top 25.
Okay.
And those underdogs that we were talking about. I mean, here's the only other one that I kind of like. All right, and if you're looking at this is a 4 p.m.er. Alabama at Vandy. Alabama plus 5.5.
Yep.
I'd like Alabama with the points there. I think Vandy, their coach was on the verge of being suspended. They had some players do some, and in their last game, they kind of embarrassed themselves, just acting like children in their win. I think Alabama plus 5.5. It's going to be a close game, but I think Alabama actually might have a chance to win this game.
All right, cool. So let's just shoot over real quick, Dan, because you know what I'm like. These are the kind of days, guys. I mean, there's hundreds of games. A lot of stomach aches, it looks like. My man Papa Smurf is on Clemson minus 3.5. He really likes that team. And MKR is telling me this teaser should be good. Maryland minus 0.5. Villanova plus 6. And Northern Iowa plus 14.5. That sounds like a pretty good one, dude. Yeah, he might want to, good luck on, dude, I hope you cash that, dude. Let me just take a look at the NBA real quick while we have our sportsbetterstv.com page open. And, dude, last night was very volatile, man. You had the Knicks and Lakers both win.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's happened all year. So, just real quick, you got Detroit coming into Washington. Washington minus 3.5. You got Atlanta going into Miami. Atlanta minus 5 to 6. Toronto coming into New York, minus 12. Toronto is Memphis minus 5 at Minnesota. I think I'm going to get on this Grizzlies team to layeth the smacketh down on Minnesota. Minnesota's playing a little bit better these days, but I think Memphis, I think I'm going to have to add Memphis in. And it's only minus 205 on a money line, so you could probably get some really good value if you add them into some of your parlays and stuff like that. So I'm going to write that down. Yeah. I got to do more homework on it, though.
Maybe Dallas.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I got to do more homework.
Dallas.
Dallas minus 8.5 to 9 with Brooklyn. Brooklyn's been a little pesky, though. Be careful, dude. Be careful there. San Antonio is playing at Phoenix, minus 1.5. And you got the Milwaukee Bucks coming into Utah. Utah is minus 3.5, and Milwaukee bit me last night, giving up a big lead in the fourth quarter. So I might have to just kind of fall back from them a minute and take a look. My man, the Cheese, is telling me Central Michigan minus 4 might be a play, so you might want to take a look at that, guys. Hey, listen, you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes we don't really have a good idea, and the nation does. So
yeah, but here's the thing of why that Mavericks game. Hear me out here real quick, kid.
Yep.
This is that huge road trip that Brooklyn's been on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is like their 8th game in a row on the road or something.
Yep.
They managed to squeak out 2 wins at the Lakers and at the Nuggets, both bad teams. They got rolled by the Pelicans, and then they got rolled by the Rockets, and I think they get rolled by the Mavericks tonight coming off. This is their last game on the road. They go home. They got a Monday game at the Warriors at home. They're shot, man. And, after all that time on the road, this is their last one. I think they come out extremely flat. Dallas will take them to town.
My man Shane Redinius told me that the 76ers also won. So you had the Knicks, Lakers, and 76ers all win, kid. Imagine if you moneyline parlayed the 3 of them, kid. You'd probably fly out to Vegas and be sitting there waiting for us now. All right, man. All right.
In one of those Skyloft suites in the MGM.
As far as hockey is concerned, guys, do yourselves a favor. Hit the Dream up. Hit up the First Lady to Fake Fan. Hit up Fake Fam. Hit up Hockey Immortal. Hit up Total Sports Edge. Hit up John Anthony. Hit all our people up on the hockey tip, man, because you know what? I don't know anything about hockey. I'll be honest with you. We'll get the Dream back on here tomorrow so he could break some of this stuff down. I do like that St. Louis Blues team. They've done really well for me. That's like the only team that has. They're playing at Edmonton tonight, but I do with everything else that's going on, I have no business doing any hockey tonight. So I'm gonna stay away from that. So Dan, let's close this thing out. I want to hear who you are taking once again. I'm going to kind of run through my stuff, then we'll go get out of here so we can put our plays in, man. What you got?
Yeah. All right. So today, and these are all against the spread, all one-unit plays. We're rocking Arkansas, Gonzaga, Maryland, LSU, Northern Iowa, Duke, Kansas, Tulsa, and Nova. That is what we're rolling with, brother.
All right, man. Just wrote it all down. And are you doing any mix and matching any of that stuff with teasers or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely be mixing and matching. One thing I'm doing is just a little Saturday fun special, very, very light play. I'm throwing a 5-point teaser with Arkansas plus 19.5, LSU plus 0.5, Northern Iowa plus 10.5, Tulsa plus 7.5, and Villanova plus 1.5. And I'm literally throwing like $20 on that to win like 65. So, I do think it has a pretty good shot.
All right, cool. So here's what I'm looking at, guys. I am looking at Oklahoma. I think I'm going to do them in a first half money line parlay because I'm taking a look at their first half scoring is actually at home is better than their second half scoring. So they're scoring 38 points in the first half at home, ranked 33 in the nation, where the road offense for TCUski is only scoring about 26. So I'm going to take Oklahoma first half money line. I'm going to take Yale first half money line. I'm going to probably sprinkle in maybe either Kansas or Memphis in the NBA. And that's all I got out of the hundreds of games today. That's all I could find, guys. So, hey, it is what it is, man. So listen. 3 weeks from this weekend, we will be in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Casino, guys. And if you haven't heard, and Dan, I don't know if we went back and forth. I don't know if Ryan told you, but we have the nightclub set for Saturday night at Beecher's Madhouse.
Oh yeah,
$100, all you could drink all night long. Okay, and admission in the clubs is $50 to $75 anyway, so you're gonna get in the club and drink all you want for $100, which is clutch. But we got to have at least 50 people with us, guys. So make sure you let me know that you want to come to that event so we can book that for sure. We've got we're doing our show at the Rouge Lounge on Friday and Saturday at 12 noon. That is going to be Vegas time, so that'll be 3 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you get registered on our website because these venues, guys, they're not the biggest, so you know what? Don't be left out trying to get in. Make sure you register so we can make sure that you get in the door for the biggest show in the world. We're going to have Rafael Esparza on our show. We're going to have the Queen of Odds on our show. And Saturday, we're going to have Crush the Bookie live, kid. Looking forward to it, guys. We are Sports Bettors TV and sportsbettorstv.com. Take a look at our website. All the best lines are there. All the best futures are there. Go out there. Go easy with a lot of these nasty games, but get that money. Take care.
Peace.